I would like to address stipulation number 5.
Yes.
And want to make sure what that's really saying, and what gives me heartburn on that. There's huge gains to the community of getting the setbacks. Okay, and not everyone understands what that means, but there's some huge gains in terms of how it protects the view corridor and the feel of it. And on the other hand, what that stipulation is limiting this to is 40 feet at the sheathing. That could go up to 46 feet.
To go to 45.
To go to 45 feet. What was agreed to with the applicant, with the Planning and Zoning Committee, was not that, okay? And that's gotten lost in this process, okay? What was agreed to was that they would have a max height at 43 feet at one location, and a substantial part of it was at 30 feet to 32 feet, and that was at the parapet heights, okay? So I cannot support this if there's a parapet height that can go that full distance of 45 feet. That's a big difference from that versus 30 or 32 feet. It's a big difference. And so I don't know how to accomplish that. Please, nothing from the public on this. This is not an easy, having said that, on the other hand, the setback gains are huge. They could be building, if this goes to court and they get a blanket C21 use, and all these stipulations are thrown out, then you can have a building that's 10 feet off of 179, up 50 feet.
That's correct. Yeah.
Huge. They could very easily build something up 50 feet and do all their courtyard inside. And that's a huge loss. That's a major impact to the community. Having that 60-foot setback is a major benefit to the community. Now I understand that views are going to get affected. The fact is that property, I've been here for 25 years. I've gone by that intersection 25,000 times. That's not an exaggeration, okay? I'm pretty tired of looking at that switching station, to be honest with you, in the fence and the weeds and all that kind of stuff, okay? So I know the impact. I've known for 25 years that property was going to go commercial. So the people who have built or bought in that last 25 years and didn't take that into consideration, that something was going to get built there. And there was lots of examples at the time that were 30, 40, 50 feet high in the village. Then I'm sorry, but that's not doing their own due diligence on that. The only way to have controlled this was the community could have incorporated it, but that was rejected. The community could have tried to develop a consortium to buy it and then do a park or a dog park. No effort was ever taken towards that. The people who own this property have certain property rights, okay? And so I don't want us to lose that. I'm going to get all these things out so that we can, the issue with fire. I was the first one that called in the fire on the La Barranca fire. That wasn't caused by a hotel, that was caused by a residential property. Okay? The evacuation and getting people out, I was there through the whole thing. It was not an issue, it was not a problem. Okay? Comparing this, I was there through the whole situation. And comparing this to a Paradise Fire or something like that is apples and oranges. Okay? Supervisor Davis proposed wanted to do some research for an alternative path out, and that was usually rejected by the community, and the project was dropped.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
It was the taxes that.
We have a commissioner that is speaking with the courtesy and listen to his.
So it was dropped. All these considerations, the additional of 150 rooms of the hotel is not going to have an impact on that. I drive by the ingress-egress parking lot of the Hilton every single day for the last year, and I have never seen an issue with the number of cars coming out and the number of cars going in. It's just not, and they have 80% occupancy, and I don't know what the numbers of rooms are, but it's approaching 200. Okay. And I wouldn't expect this to be any different. But I do have a lot of heartburn over the potential of a 40-foot, 5-foot height being available there. And so unless we can resolve that, I'm not going to support it.
I'd like to get a clarification on the elevation. Where is that 40-foot being measured from? What elevation?
We're going to be looking at it from natural grade, is the definition that the Yavapai County zoning ordinance uses. So we're going to be looking at it adjacent to several locations across the property, because this does spread out, and that 40 feet is going to be measured from the adjacent grade on those areas.
You showed us that goes part way up that hill.
Yes, it
Is that
does.
taken into consideration?
It absolutely does. The zoning ordinance allows that to slope in that particular area. That is what is in the law today. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate a couple minutes to speak with the applicant with regards to this to clarify some language. So what we have right now is stipulation number 5, that if built as a hotel, the maximum height shall be 34 feet measured from the natural grade, including the parapets. Maximum height for the elevator, stairwells, and shade structure shall be 44 feet as measured from the natural grade.
Is there further discussion on this item
And I should say for the amendments listed.
for the stipulated
Stipulations.
Okay, so, and I just want to be very clear here to clarify. So this is a motion for approval of the application with modified stipulations that we currently have written.
That is
a
correct.
recommendation.
Very good. Recommendation of
I'd
approval.
like to comment before we.
There will be a comment section before we.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mumaw.
So I'm going to be repeating myself a little bit. I've lived here for 25 years and I love this community. And my responsibility is both to the Planning and Zoning Commission in the Yavapai County, but it's also to my, to the village. I've known what's going to happen to this particular property for 25 years. It's been discussed for years and years and years. So this is not a surprise and should not be a surprise to anybody. You know, it's unfortunate that if the community wanted to do something different with it, that they didn't take some kind of course of action as such as incorporation or figure out a way to purchase the property and turn it into something else. But they didn't do that. Okay? I'm concerned, I'm extremely concerned, because I understand the legal ramifications if the county were to reject this. There's too many court decisions are such that the courts could do a blanket C2-1 with no stipulations whatsoever, just the county ordinances. And then you're looking at any use in C2, 50-foot high, with 10-foot to 20-foot setbacks. I personally am not willing to take that kind of risk with my community. When I've got a set of stipulations, that is something that is something that I can live with. The idea, and if you want to see what high, close setbacks, go to Famous Pizza. There's a few examples in the village. Think of what that would be like all along 179 and all along Jack's Canyon. So as far as the fire issues and the traffic issues, I don't believe, and you know, people can have disagreement on this, but from my educated experience, this particular development isn't going to effectively change the issues with both traffic and the amount of time it takes to get to emergency services or the amount of time it takes to evacuate. You can disagree with that, but you know, that's from my personal experience. And I know the law of Barranca Fire extremely well. I was right in the middle of it. And so I know what the situation are with that. So given that, my feeling of why I'm going to support this is because I think ultimately it's the safest and in the best interest of our community. It may not be what everybody likes. And I understand that it blocks and it affects people's view sheds, and we hate that. You know, But this could be far, far, far worse, and I'm not willing to take that risk for the Big Park community. That's my question.
Thank you, Commissioner Mumaw.